One piece of criticism that I always get when it comes to money is when I tell people to pay off their house. Because a lot of people are like, what? Why would you do that? Having a mortgage, that's good debt. So we're going to talk about that today. Is mortgage really good debt? Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend. All right, let's define what good debt is, because a lot of people throw categories of money into this, and especially into the debt world, because they're like, it's okay. It's almost like they justify the debt because like, it's okay, it's good debt. Student loans are seen as this. It's good debt. You are going and learning and expanding your mind and taking what you've learned and going and applying it to your job, which means you're going to make more money because of this degree, and it's going to pay off in the long run. So that's good debt. A mortgage is the same kind of thing. Yeah, when you have a mortgage, of any kind, right? That could be like a 30-year adjustable rate, whatever it is. But a mortgage is good debt because your home is going up in value over time, and who can, buy a house with cash, right? A business loan is seen as this. In order to grow your business, you may need to take out a loan because the cash flow is not there. But if if you're getting customers and the customers are there, but you don't have enough money to make the product or service that you need to help all these customers, well, we got to get some money in. So might as well take out a loan, right, to go and build the service, build the product to help the customers make more money, and so on and so forth. A home equity loan, sometimes a HELOC is seen as good debt because usually, if you're using this, you're going to be going in and maybe doing renovations to your home, changing some things, adding a pool, whatever it is, and it's going to up the value of your home. So this is good debt. So again, all of this is considered good debt out there in the real world because people are like, well, it's going to pay off in the long run. And it's okay to take the risk, to take on the loan, pay the interest, all of that, because it's going to reward us tenfold. That's the thought. But the reality is, you guys, life does not always happen the way we want it to. The business ends up slowing down, and then you freak out and you end up taking out another small business loan to keep the business going. And then the good debt turns into an absolute nightmare. Maybe you go to school and you go to a school that you can't afford. And you're like, yeah, student loans, no big deal. And you go take out $120,000 net, and then you go out into the marketplace and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't really find a job. Or you're in an entry-level position with someone next to you who may not have even gone to college, right? And you're getting paid the same. So did it really work out or not? So again, what can happen is life happens. And when you build your life around debt and have debt, you are adding so much risk to your life. And so what we have to think about is that what debt really is. And so you can look at it, even from a spiritual perspective, when scripture says that the borrower is slave to the lender, anytime debt is mentioned in scripture, it is in a negative fashion. It's a burden on you. That's what it says from the emotional, spiritual side. And then when you look at the financial side, a lot of things that we take loans out for, even the good debt things, end up, either going down in value. You end up spending more on it than what it was originally worth because of interest. And it just adds to more of your income coming in and your income going back out and not helping you and your family. So all of this, I would say there is no good debt, okay? Honestly, when you look at it, people that live a debt-free life, I really do believe they live below their means, may not be as big, of a risk taker, or they may not have as big of a lifestyle, but they are living with a lot of peace. Now, I say all that to say, a mortgage is the one type of debt that we will not yell at you for. So, and I say that for many reasons, which we'll talk about here in a second. But again, always remembering that debt equals risk. And another huge risk is not keeping your money in a place that supports your financial goals, which is why I recommend Fairwinds Credit Union. So Fairwinds is 100% on your side when it comes to handling money the Ramsey way. Their Smart Checking is a simple and straightforward plan that keeps you on track. And their Smart Savings celebrates good habits, so it is easy to stay motivated. And do not get me started on the Be Weird debit card. Here it is. I love it so much. So having banking tools that aligns with your values matters. So go to fairwinds.org/Ramsey and check it all out. You will not regret it. And one monthly cost that is so important to get right is your health insurance plan, which is why I love Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM has no enrollment deadlines, and you can choose any doctor or hospital you want. And that kind of freedom is so important, especially if you're self-employed between jobs or you just want more margin in your budget. So right now, CHM is offering new members a 50% credit towards your first month of membership. So get started at chministries.org/budget and use promo code Ramsey. That's chministries.org/budget and promo code Ramsey. All right. So as we're talking about a mortgage, again, the type of debt that you won't get yelled at for here at Ramsey, but it is, there is some parameters around it. Okay. So getting a 15-year fixed rate mortgage is really important. And there's a few reasons why. Most people making an average income, again, can't handle hundreds of thousands of dollars, to purchase all at once in cash. So the loan is going to be necessary. And a home is an appreciating asset, so it goes up over time. So it really is a reliable investment that contributes to your net worth. Unlike a car that goes down in value so quickly, your real estate slowly will go up over time. And again, the 15-year fixed rate mortgage, I love because you're not throwing your money away for so long in interest. Like when you look at the 30-year loan, if you do that, how much you're paying in interest is insane over time. So when we can shorten that and putting yourself in a plan that automatically is going to get you out of debt faster, we are all about. So yes, a mortgage loan, again, can be a great decision. It really can be, with a few caveats. Now, I want you to make sure that you can buy when you're ready, meaning I want you completely debt-free with a fully funded emergency fund of 36 months of expenses. And it's so hard because I talk to people all the time, especially on the Ramsey show, and they're like, well, I want to go buy a house, but they still have student loan payments, car payments. I mean, they're basically living paycheck to paycheck. And they're like, well, a mortgage is cheaper than rent. And I'm like, yeah, but also when you own a home, you own everything. So like if the roof starts leaking, if your refrigerator goes out, if the heating and air breaks, like you are on the line for those expenses, and home ownership is expensive. So when you're doing it broke, it's going to cause more stress. That's why I want you out of debt with an emergency fund, which is so, so key. Number 2 is to make sure that you're not in over your head. So you want your mortgage payment to be no more than 25% of your take-home pay. So you want it to be a fourth. If you make $8,000 a month, that is a $2,000 mortgage, right? So just looking at it, because here's the deal, that is more conservative numbers, but you also want to be doing other things with your paycheck. You want to be investing 15% of your income into retirement. You want to be saving for kids' college. You want to be able to give. You want to be able to spend on vacation this summer. Like you want to be able to do things with your income. And if it's all tied up, or even if half of it's tied up in just a mortgage payment, it doesn't leave you a lot of margin to do everything else. All right, number 3, when it comes to your down payment, if you are a first-time home buyer, you can put down 5%. That's great. Anyone else, I would really push you to 20%, which is a lot because houses are so expensive, and I know that may change the game. But when you do 20%, not only do you have a big chunk of your mortgage already paid off at that point, which is wonderful, but you also can avoid PMI insurance, which is going to save you money too. So again, first-time home buyers, the lowest I would go is 5%. And number 4, I want you to pay it off early. Yes, paying off your house early, which for some people, it feels like a mountain to climb. But what we're finding is people doing the Ramsey plan are paying it off in 7 to 9 years. And there is something to be said about not having a mortgage payment and owning a home. Like that's insane. I was going to say that's the American dream. I'm sure you can label that wherever, but that is a crazy place to be. And it's wild because we are finding more and more people are doing this. And what's great about it is, when you save that mortgage payment, not only could you use that for investing or being generous or spending, but that is putting money back in your pocket, which is a really wonderful thing because you're working so hard. And when you have your income to use with however you need to use it, that's a great thing. Now, if you want to run your own numbers, then make sure to check out Ramsey's Mortgage Payoff Calculator. You can plug in your own numbers and calculate your potential timeline of how fast you could pay off your mortgage and the margin that will leave you. I'll put a link down below. And the truth is that this isn't really only a financial myth that needs debunking. So check out my episode 5 Popular Money Myths That Keep You Broke. I'll put a link down below. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.